Hey everybody, Mike with Gallagher Brothers Creative here. Just wanted to update y'all on what I've been up to since we last talked and share the progress that we've had inside the wood shop and really start to show you what Gallagher Brothers Creative is really shaping up to be as its own kind of place to make things and follow kind of your creative bent, if you will. Now, even when I first left the job, I went to go visit my brother in Kentucky, and live edge furniture was sticking out to me as something that really was intriguing, and it seemed challenging, and I really liked the idea of working with the natural kind of way the wood was, and working with that 20% of the wood that isn't milled but for lumber, you know, like your standard 2x4, and that hardwood section that people, when they see it in furniture, really appreciate, really value. So I wanted to take time away from videoing things, right? and the time that editing and posting took, and really start to hone in on something that when I went back to the real world, whatever job that might be, in my free time or even in, you know, my other time, work with my hands working with live edge. Now, I have done a lot of research. Live edge furniture and live edge wood itself can be kind of expensive, and it takes a long time to dry and get kiln dried and all that. So there's a lot of process that goes into it, and part of my learning, once I it hit me in the gut that was the stuff that was sticking out to me, and learning the hand joinery is huge for that, because that's where you can make good support, good legs that people really appreciate. But what was really drawing me in my heart of hearts was to the live edge furniture itself. So I started researching, and I really wanted to get a good understanding of how to finish this stuff and how to work with it appropriately in the right way without wasting it before I started purchasing a bunch of stock and, you know, taking my chisel to it and making some beautiful piece of wood into toothpicks on accident. So what I've done is kind of focused on that exclusively for the last 2 months, and I wanted to share with you the update on the progress. So first things first is this type of thing for me, it takes a lot of YouTube research. Now that's, for me, the only place that I can really find the type of videos and information that'll help me kind of figure out what the best of the best are doing. And then I just took that and I applied it over a couple rounds of different types of wood, and I wanted to share where I've been with that. So here is actually a red cedar log that I'm going to make into a standing shelf that has 2 layers to it. You can see the sister piece is already kind of cut to be ready to be the bottom part of the shelves. And this piece has already been epoxied to kind of cover up this knot and preserve the wood in such a way to where over years that won't fall out or become any issue, and people can use it and really have kind of a nice visual to it. So what I'm thinking is those two are going to stand on top of each other, one on top of the other, and have some legs to kind of do this double shelf where you can put plants on it or whatever you want. Now, I did make a coffee table out of the same wood using the same epoxy, and I wanted to share that with you now. So if you've been following my Instagram page, you'll see that I've had this coffee table on there for a couple days now, but I've really been working on it for a few months. And part of that process is learning how to use the epoxy and kind of how to use that, especially in the cold weather of Ohio. And also what's the best use of the time and how to fill it. So you'll see that it's drying right now, but there is a lot of epoxy that went into this, and I think the red cedar and the blue, my speaker just fell off. I think the red cedar and the blue it was blue and white basically that I mixed together, kind of makes it look really cool. The finish I'm using on this is Armor Seal polyurethane, and what I really love about this is it's going to protect the wood for decades, and it's going to really just only focus on bringing out all the wood and all the different grains that you see. So this process has been a lot of fun, and I think that with this and these 2 boards over here, we're going to see a kind of cool combination that we can be proud of and share in our living room maybe give to my dad or my mom. Now here's the other thing that I've been working on. Is this black walnut coffee table. Now you can see here, there's a really cool crotch figure that kind of has its own design completely. We got to keep the sapwood, so that way it's kind of the whole outside is all sapwood. And you can see, like, just from, it's really soft. And I still have another coat that I'm going to put on this today, and then a finishing coat to kind of finalize it. But if you've been following Instagram, this piece has been on there a little bit, and the question was, do I use this part, which you can see here is bow tied to give support with red oak, and then you have epoxy through it, which is battleship gray epoxy, kind of a blackish gray epoxy in there. And I think what Instagram decided was that this is going to be the side, that's the top part, which was kind of the intention all along. But as I made the bow ties, I kind of like them. But in reality, I think a lot of people they like bow ties, but they don't understand them just more or less as a stabilizer. But anyway, this is one other thing we've been up to. Let me share with you another thing. So to kind of give you an idea of what these are going to look like, is we're going to stick with a very simple design and let the wood kind of speak for itself. And what I'm going to use is these hairpin legs to kind of make the tables and the coffee table stand out. Just got them off Amazon. They're pretty reasonable, but they also will give me some space to where I don't have to worry about them moving as much, because the wood is going to move with seasonal changes. Now, one piece that I've been working on, which I'm pretty excited, is this piece of cherry. And what this is on its second coat of armor seal, sanded to 220 between each coat, and then basically I'm going to put another coat and then finish it really well with some higher grain sandpaper. But as you can see, if you can kind of visualize this, see if I can give you a good angle here, just how pretty and awesome that wood grain would look sitting on top of, you know, hairpin legs. Get out of the way. But anyway, that's what we've been up to. It's taken a lot of time and research and understanding to kind of, and trial and error, to kind of go down this path and see that I really am appreciating what's coming out of the wood shop at this point. And I'm up to the point where I'm going to be filling my house with great furniture, and then I'll probably go to family members and friends who say, hey, that's cool. And then by then, I mean, who knows? I'll probably be working a full-time job, and I won't be posting videos on YouTube as much, but I will be on Instagram, because I think that's where I found my balance of being able to keep people informed on what cool things I'm doing and stay motivated. That, you know, you can't just make stuff in your garage, you got to share it. Like, the world has to see what you're doing. So I think Instagram is a good way for me to still really keep first things first, which is the whole point of everything I'm doing, is to follow my passion and not get bogged down. The whole point of this whole process was I had the full understanding that I was going to be probably going back into corporate world, because, you know, hey, for 15 years I was really good at it, and I enjoyed the people connections and being able to kind of help people with their money and their finances. Now, I am really happy that over the last few months I've been able to start a company. I've been able to start to research and go down different paths that really sparked my interest to see where those things would lead me. I've hit the point where right around November, when I started posting videos, I realized that the time of editing and making a really nice video is actually really difficult. The amount of time that goes into a 30-minute video when you're trying to cut it for people to watch and be entertained and still learn what you need to learn, it takes a long time, because you're piecing 2 to 5 second pieces together, and you have to edit those and cut them down and get them just right. Now, I am hugely appreciative of the weeks that I spent editing the videos that I shot over the beginning of the break, and that for me was really a great experience, because I can say that I am basically able to do that if I choose to. Now, what I realized also is that's not where my heart is, and that's the whole point of this whole project and the Gallagher Brothers Creative, is to give ourselves a place to come and just be free with our thoughts and brainstorm, and then try to apply some new type of knowledge and maybe make something with our hands that somebody else can look at and say, man, that's cool, I like that. Hey, that works for me. Either it's functional or it's art, and it makes me feel great. So that's the whole point of this. And while the road of sharing it through YouTube was great, and I'll continue to do that, I did realize very quickly that that side of it is not where my heart was, and where my heart was in the actual woodworking. So I appreciate all the support, and anybody who wants to keep following and kind of learning what we're doing, check out Gallagher Brothers Creative on Instagram. You can also go to the website. I keep that updated, GallagherBrothersCreative.com. And stay subscribed to YouTube, like this video, because as I do increase my volume with the Live Edge, there is a chance that I will be keeping more regular videos of sharing that process with everybody. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been a lot of fun sharing and learning, and don't be afraid to go try learn something new. You might just find that you're good at it and that you really like it. Have a great day, everybody, and check us out on Instagram, Gallagher Brothers Creative. Peace.